What is up guys, and I welcome you all to a new episode of the League of Myths series. I'll have a quick announcement from a sponsor at the end of the video, but if you do end up enjoying this episode, don't forget to hit the like button. And let's go into the first myth. Can champion clones disarm Rek'Sai tunnels? So we're gonna start this myth off by testing LeBlanc and her clone, and as the Rek'Sai pops my passive, I end up throwing the clone on top of the Rek'Sai tunnel, and you can see that the clone is actually able to destroy it. A neat thing to do to further trick your opponents that are unaware of this. Following this, we have Wukong and his W clone, and you can see the exact same thing happens as I flash out of range, and the clone by itself is able to destroy the tunnel. And last but not least, Shaco and his ultimate also, just like I'm sure you can guess, is able to destroy the tunnels. Myth number 2 that was inspired from a video on Reddit: what is the interaction with Ryze's new E ability in Mirror Mana? So the first thing to note is that Mirror Mana should only actually activate its effect when a target is hit by an auto attack or a single target ability. So a great example of that is of course Ezreal's Q. However, Ryze's E ability is definitely able to hit more than one target. But apparently the coding is done so that the E ability, as you use it on the first target, is counted as a single target ability, and the secondary effect of it when it spreads to other targets is still counted as a single target ability. So what do you get when you put all of those things together in one basket? Well, you have Ryze's E ability proccing Mirror Mana several times, doing an absurd amount of damage. The next myth is asking what is the interaction between J4 Ultimate and Bard's Journey. As per usual with Bard myths, there have been various results. First, we test up the knocking up portion of Jarvan, and you see that right there, even though he hit the Bard, it still didn't knock him up and out of the journey. But after trying again and testing it several times, we realized that you have to get the knock up exactly in the middle of where the person is traveling. But then of course we have Jarvan's ultimate, which also has some wacky results, and in this case you can see Bard go near the end of the journey, and as Jarvan ults the Bard, it doesn't actually do anything in terms of stopping him, even though he still takes the damage. It could have been due to the fact that the wall in that specific area was too thick, because in this example you have Jarvan use his ultimate on Bard at the beginning of the journey where the wall is much thinner, and this time the ultimate is actually able to get him out of the journey and stop him. The fourth myth is asking, can you use Omewrecker on Azir's passive tower creation? So first, for the people that have no idea what this item is, this item has an active effect where nearby towers are actually unable to attack for a few seconds. Now the question is, will this also apply to Azir's own created tower? And as Teemo uses the Omewrecker, you can see that it actually does apply to Azir's tower and it prevented it from attacking. Could be a nice little tactic to use against Azir's passive. And the final myth of this episode, can a Katarina use Thresh Lantern to proc Luden's Echo? Now I saw this in a video posted up a while ago and I thought it might be a bug, but I decided to try it out myself. And it is quite interesting because I never knew this could happen, but if you use Shunpo with Katarina on a Thresh Lantern while you have Luden's Echo at 100 stacks, so ready to proc, that Shunpo on the Thresh Lantern will actually count as a spell being hit, therefore it will proc Luden's Echo. But let's also test this on the flip side with having Thresh this time on our team rather than the enemy team. And as I have Luden's Echo at 100 stacks with the Darius and minions beside us, I use the Shunpo on the lantern and bam, suddenly you see it does not proc. So it does only seem to work on an enemy Thresh Lantern, obviously treating it as an actual object or a champion being hit, therefore proccing the item. So before I end off this video, I want to tell you guys about something pretty cool. Kinguin is actually doing a pretty cool thing on their website where for only €4 you'll get a random Steam CD key. Now this could be a very expensive game, for instance Grand Theft Auto 5 for only €4, or of course the vice versa in a very cheap game. I'll put a link to it in the description below, highly recommend checking it out, it's a lot of fun and pretty cool. But I thank you all for watching, don't forget to submit your own myths as well, and I'll see you all for the next episode and video. Peace.